I'm going to ask you a quick question. How many Minecraft YouTubers do you know of who've been exposed for being terrible people behind closed doors? Seriously, think about it. Pause this video and write a comment about how many you're aware of and list them out if you so please. Got it? Thanks. Alright, so what am I doing here? Well, I'm making this video in light of the recent abuse allegations made against Wilbur Soot by his ex-girlfriend, Shubble. They're both Minecraft YouTubers, so it's quickly become a huge deal in the community, and a lot of other creators have weighed in on it. So let me summarize this for you. Shubble first talked about the abuse without naming Wilbur directly in a VOD. Then fans speculated she was talking about Wilbur, others independently corroborated that she was talking about Wilbur, and Wilbur basically admitted she was talking about him by posting what is quite possibly one of the worst attempts at an apology I have ever read in my life. Wilbur refused to identify Shubble, made the situation about himself and how much he's supposedly grown, and deliberately ignored much of the behavior he was accused of in the first place to avoid making himself look too bad. He also claimed he has proof that his abusive acts done onto Shubble were in fact consensual, at least the main ones she talked about in her VOD, but that he won't show the proof because he just has too much respect for her. Which, you know, sure is sweet, and awfully convenient as well, isn't it? Some have defended this statement on the grounds that it isn't really an apology and he's more so defending against allegations, but he does try to make it sound like he's apologizing for some things. So that's wishful thinking, isn't it? It's just a really terrible statement, truly dreadful and dishonest. I want to make it clear where I stand on this matter. I believe Shubble is telling the truth and that she was abused by Wilbur Soot. Now, I can't claim to know this on a factual level, but I do believe it, and there is a difference there. I understand that there is always room for doubt, but comparing the visceral and earnest recount in her VOD to Wilbur's disingenuous non-apology, I think it's clear who people should be trusting at the moment. Thankfully, it does seem like most people are choosing correctly. If Wilbur does end up dropping bombshell evidence and flipping everything on its head, that would change things, but that seems unlikely to me now. And either way, with the current information the internet has, I wholeheartedly believe the reaction from the Minecraft YouTube sphere has been fair and justified, especially since much of the focus seems to be on supporting Shubble and standing in solidarity with her. I'm all for that, I think it's great, and that's really all I have to say about this specific situation. Now, I didn't just make this video to talk about that, of course. Ending it here would make the title and thumbnail silly and misleading. I also want to talk about a common sentiment I see expressed whenever news like this breaks, and I hope the point I'm trying to make is reassuring to the people in the community, who are always impacted by these sorts of situations. Whenever a Minecraft YouTuber gets exposed for being an abuser or a groomer or anything of the sort, you'll always get a bunch of people, usually outside of the space, immediately chiming in to say, it's always the Minecraft YouTubers. This idea has always seemed strange to me. The insinuation, of course, is that Minecraft YouTube is infested with terrible people and specifically groomers who want to take advantage of children. I do want to clarify that it is true that Minecraft can often serve as a vehicle for predators due to its popularity among children and teens. But I don't really agree with the idea that Minecraft YouTube has this inherent problem that's especially noteworthy. Schools and teaching jobs can also serve as a vehicle for predators, but you don't really hear people say it's always the teachers whenever one of them gets exposed, right? Even disregarding that, we are just talking about groomers here. That label doesn't apply to Wilbur Soot. When it comes to abusers, the whole argument about Minecraft being a vehicle doesn't really make sense, does it? If SkyDoesMinecraft, for instance, were famous for playing some other kind of game, even one geared for a completely different demographic, he'd still be fundamentally abusive, right? Like, that wouldn't change his horrible behavior toward his exes and the people around him. Those behaviors come from deep-rooted issues that supersede anything to do with Minecraft or video games in general. Furthermore, the belief that it's always Minecraft YouTubers is just wrong on its face, isn't it? Of course it's not always Minecraft YouTubers. YouTubers in different spheres get exposed for shit all the time, and I don't usually see similar sentiments expressed for them. There's this pervasive idea I've come across on social media that Minecraft YouTubers are inherently dangerous and less trustworthy by virtue of being Minecraft YouTubers. And that may seem like it might have some merit to it given a fair few Minecraft YouTubers have been exposed for terrible things, but it should be noted that a few is still a pretty small number in the grand scheme of things. At the start of the video, I asked you to write a comment about how many different Minecraft YouTubers you know who have been exposed for terrible behavior so far. I haven't read those comments yet as of writing the script because, well, obviously, but I'm going to guess your guesses are around 5 or 6. Because after researching the amount of cases myself, I have concluded that there are 5 YouTubers of note wherein the general knowledge and consensus is that they've done some really awful things. These YouTubers are LionMaker, Bashurverse, JinBop, SkyDoesMinecraft, and CallMeCarson. I can see Wilbur Soot being added to that list in the future if there isn't some dramatic twist coming, but even if we do add him, that's still only 6. Let me put that number into context by showing you just how many Minecraft YouTubers there are, most of whom have never had credible accusations even made against them. Can you guess how many? Maybe write that in the comment too. Please, I need engagement. So here's an image of just a collection of particularly popular Minecraft YouTubers with millions of subs. This isn't even including the vast array of them who have less. Most of the people on this list alone, and I will stress most, not all, are as squeaky clean as you can get. There are dozens and dozens of people on this list, and yet the amount of confirmed cases of predators and abusers in Minecraft YouTube can quite literally be counted on one hand. If you really stop and think about it, the vast majority of Minecraft YouTubers are just not terrible people. I don't know if there's any way to make that more clear by now. In any case, I think it's useful for us to ask ourselves why we care about the activities of abusers and predators in the first place. Sure, it's useful to make note of specific problems in specific communities, but it's useful in the sense that the notes we make can be a springboard for our communities to take action to fight those problems. There isn't a purpose to pointing out what the perpetrator did on the side when it's not serving the goal of preventing a similar wrongdoing in the future, or at the very least learning something from what happened. I honestly think it's a little perverse to shift the focus onto anything a perpetrator did besides the crime they've been exposed for. If we say Wilbur Soot is in fact an abuser, why does it matter that he's also a Minecraft YouTuber? If this all turns out to be true in the future without a shadow of a doubt, why do we care? Why is that part of his legacy that will be worth remembering? Why do we keep hearing it's always the Minecraft YouTubers, and not just, wow, person A treated person B terribly and I feel so sorry for person B? Well, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to 2 things, and those are selection bias and cringe culture. Selection bias is the easy one to explain here. Whenever a Minecraft YouTuber is exposed for being a predator, abuser, or otherwise a despicable piece of shit, it's rightfully treated as a huge deal, and that can often overshadow the vast array of Minecraft YouTubers who don't have those situations attached to them. So yeah, case closed on that aspect, I think. Cringe culture is surely the more interesting factor of the 2. To be honest, I believe there are a lot of people who for one reason or another just really don't like Minecraft, Minecraft YouTube, or the community around it. You obviously can not like those things, and many people dislike them for different reasons, some more valid than others. But I think when certain people specifically choose to look down on Minecraft and the community, they allow that mindset to influence how they think about these awful situations. If you think the community is annoying and don't like seeing the YouTubers on your feed, then maybe that's a factor in your head that influences you to associate terrible things with that sphere of the internet that bothers you so much. It is convenient to use the vast majority of that sphere as a scapegoat when you find out about these super specific exposures, isn't it? It may seem like I'm stretching a lot here, but I was on places like Twitter for years before I recently deleted it, and I know from first-hand experience how cringe culture operates. If you dislike something and view it as below your standards for what constitutes a not bad thing, you are likely to take any excuse to associate that thing with its worst possible aspects. Cringe culture may not be the best descriptor for what I'm talking about, but whatever you call it, there's something wrong about it, don't you think? When we find out about abusers and predators and other shitbags in certain communities, our line of thought should always point towards supporting their victims and with ensuring more of them won't be welcomed into those communities in the future, and not toward using those people as an excuse to make fun of a game or TV show or movie or fandom. That is, and I don't use these words lightly, just sad and disrespectful. It's also, unfortunately, something I think we're all prone to, and I'm not putting myself above anyone else either. I know I have been influenced by this problem, and that's another reason why I want to speak out against it. I don't really know how to end off this video, but I guess I'll just leave it on an optimistic note. Whenever something like this happens and you find out a generally well-liked creator isn't who they seem to be behind closed doors, the idea that you can't trust anyone on the internet can become nothing short of suffocating. It's sometimes hard to move on and support new people because deep down you think maybe they might also be that bad and just hiding it. Everyone starts to look like they could be a monster, but I want to make it clear that I do not believe that's true. And I truly mean it when I say the vast majority of us are good people. That includes YouTubers, and it certainly includes Minecraft YouTubers. If everything I currently believe about Wilbur turns out to be absolutely definitely true 100%, then that will not make him the first person to violate our trust like this. He also will not be the last. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from this the most, it's that for every person revealed to be a deplorable asshole, there are so many more people who truly are lights in this dark world, and that will never stop being true. Thanks for watching, and just to reiterate, offer your support to Shubble. She deserves nothing but the best, and goodbye.